What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Q here once again. We're back for another video for you all. In this video, we're at a milestone finally at 5,000 miles, close to. Got a few more miles to put on before we get to 5,000. But I'm going to do a review on the car. It's been 8 months since I bought the car. Bought it on December 31st or December 30th. So today is August 6th. I'm going to talk about my ownership and how I like the car, how I dislike the car for the first 8 months that I owned it. So make sure you get the channel a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, browse, look at my older videos to go over a lot of topics about this car and a couple other cars too. So let us jump into it. Alright, first thing I want to say that this is an amazing car. Mostly everything about this car I love. Now I know I put out the things I hate about this car, and I know I got some ruffles, some feathers. Some people got their panties in a bunch because of my opinion, but whatever. That's how I feel about the car. It's not perfect, but it is an amazing car. And first off, I want to start with the looks. So I think this car looks amazing, especially this color. Gets a ton of attention. Honestly, probably more than I would like personally. Get a lot of people that talk to me, but I love cars, so it's not that bad. But I think this right here is the best angle of the car right here. You get to show off the black accents, the long roof, a little bit of the wheels, that front 3/4 view of it. And then it's just a menacing looking car. The wheels look amazing. The brakes are awesome. And yeah, just straight from the factory. I didn't do too many modifications. Only thing I did was I tinted the windows, did some black on this door handle, got a black shark fin, and I got boiler exhaust, which give it a deeper tone. These are the S-type exhaust, so it makes it a little bit louder. A wide open throttle. The idle is still good, but it's still like a deep classic car tone. And everything else I like about the car. I like these clear tail lights from the factory. I think that's a good look for the car. Definitely this paint color. And then the trunk space. So the only thing about the trunk, it has this goofy opening right here, which cuts off some practicality of it. You can't put items, you can't put big items in here like you would if this were like up here. But like I said before, that's because the tail lights can't lift up with the trunk. That's like a federal rule for safety. But the trunk is pretty deep back there. Got extra pair of clothes back there. Got a tripod for my camera, 2 backpacks, shoes, gas cap, mount, snow scraper, and I'm about to go to Costco too and add some few more things in here. But that's going to go in the back seat here. Alright, that's where the water's going. Here we go. So the car, it can be used as an everyday driver, and that's what I do. My car, it also has this black gas cap right here, carbon fiber. That's why I got the carbon fiber boiler to match. I'm gonna add some more carbon fiber bits in the near future. Like these tires, they're aggressive. They're so wide. They're I think these are 20s, 19s or 20s, can't remember. But they're 305s. They're like 10 inches wide in the front and 11 inches wide in the back, if my memory serves me correctly. Yeah, this is another factory black accent right there that I do like. Like I said, I use this car every single day. And like on the inside, I have 2 car seats. If you're subscribed to the channel, you would know that, because I sometimes have my kids in a few videos. Got 2 car seats back there, a booster and a regular car seat, and they both fit back there. And all 4 of us in my family, we can all ride in the car together. So inside the car is a nice place to be too. With the steering wheel, we got a it's actually not suede, is microfiber Alcantara. So it looks like suede Alcantara, but it's actually like microfiber, like a cloth you would see. So it feels a little bit different. It's not as much grip as real suede Alcantara, but it's still good and it still feels really soft. Same thing with the shifter down here, more microfiber. I got the Recaro seats in here, which these are very comfortable seats. Like I sit in here, I don't slide around a lot when I'm sitting in these seats. It's got leather on the outside, and I'm pretty sure that's the same microfiber Alcantara down the center. And it's really soft and it feels good. As you can see, I'm sitting at 4,953 miles. So in another day or two of driving, I should be at 5,000 miles. This car is pretty cool. If you look at the mirror up here, it's like a rimless mirror. It's all glass. So I think that's a cool thing. The heating and cooling controls down here, I think that's really cool. It's got a knob if you want to turn up or down. So I have a base model, a 1SS. So in the 2SS, you get a dual climate control, so it will be climbing on both sides. But since I have a base model, the right side is fan speed, so you can increase the fan speed by rotating that. And then the 2SS, I believe there's a fan speed control like right around here, or at least in my wife's car. She has a Blazer, which is designed very similarly to this on the inside. So with all the positive talk, let's talk about something that I don't like about the car. And that's the ergonomics of the car. Like, there's not a lot of interior storage. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, you bought a sports car, you shouldn't have to worry about that. No, this car was 50 grand. Like, I need a little bit of space. The FRS has space on the inside, so the Camaro can too. But this car was designed for looks first. That's something I have to keep in mind. Like, if you look in the side door here, like, the storage is minimal. Like, you can barely reach that. Like, this is almost behind me. I'll have to like open the door to get to this narrow pocket. I just got like bank slips in there because it's like so small. So another thing about the interior, this is where all the negatives are to me, the interior. So the door handle is kind of flimsy and cheap feeling. It definitely feels like plastic, and it doesn't even feel solid there at all. It kind of moves around too. All of these buttons are actually very solid feeling. I don't see how these can be so solid feeling, and these buttons down here have like the worst feedback ever. They feel like hollow, and I don't know, it's just not a good button to me. And something else that I get a negative on is these buttons right here, my track, sport mode and snow mode and all that, and traction control. Actually the park brake too, because sometimes it doesn't activate unless you like really get into it. But I think these are in the bad location here, because sometimes when I'm shifting, I'll have my hand here, and I'll actually turn off traction control by mistake, or I'll go from like sport to track mode or touring mode when I'm not trying to do that on purpose. And for those of you who like listening to music, don't get the base model. Get the 2SS so you can get the Bose audio system, because these interior speakers in here are trash. That's all I'm going to say about that. All these base model sports cars, the speakers are trash. But as far as like anything else negative on the car, like, I don't see anything else negative. And in my previous video, I was talking about the visibility. That's not an issue to me, because I can see out the car. If it's your first time getting in the car and you're not used to it, yeah, it probably will be. And you'll have blind spots if you don't fix the mirrors. But that's not a problem with me, and I'm totally fine with the visibility out this car. So some of the features that this car has that I like is the auto rev match. And I don't use it all the time, but it's still a nice feature to have. You just click on the paddles and active rev match turns on. And that's something that doesn't hold on over ignition cycles. You have to manually change that every single time. And another feature that I do have is PDR. And I'll go to a video with me driving down some curvy roads, some back roads. That's nice. And PDR is really a good value if you go to the track, but I don't. But I use it from time to time if I see like something bad about to happen in traffic. And honestly, I kind of regret not going for a 2SS, because I'm finding out more and more features that I would like aren't available. Like when I was in my visibility video, people with the 2SS, they can actually set it to when they're in reverse, their rearview mirrors tilt, but that's not a feature on the base model. So if you want all the creature comforts like blind spot, better audio, heated and cooled seats, spring for the 2SS. You will not be disappointed, and that'll take away a lot of these things that are negative. So as far as the shifter goes, get this out the way. The shifter is pretty nice. Like it goes into every gear pretty easily. Like it's no guessing about it. Like when I'm speeding through it, it goes into every gear that I do want it to go to. And there has been a couple times where I tried to shift in the gear and I just kind of had to like ram it in the gear because it wouldn't go for whatever reason. But that's like a 1 out of 100 or 1,000 shifts maybe, and it's only when I take off in first gear. So other than that, it's always very smooth. So far the car has been perfectly reliable. I haven't had any issues that have come about, no creaks, no rattles. I get decent gas mileage. I'm only averaging like 16 something, but I'm doing a lot of city driving right now due to construction. And when I'm on the highway, I can get like over 25 miles to the gallon, just cruising at like 75 or 80. So that's a winner in my book. I haven't done any service yet. I know I should have done an oil change by now. And when you buy one of these new, GM gives you a complimentary service, and I'm going to use that to get my oil change, which I should do very, very soon. So let me start talking about the main reason you would buy this Camaro, especially in 1LE form. Like, this car is a hell of a driver. That's the best part about this car. And there is not a single negative about driving this car, in my opinion. There's no body roll whatsoever. It's quick, it's responsive. Now, I do wish that the throttle response was a little bit better in sport mode, because that's the mode that I always drive in. Because if you choose track mode, it reverts back to touring mode, and the throttle response in touring mode is just very, very slow. But this car drives so well. Like, it handles curves like a champ. I have not driven a car that can match this car in the curves. And I'm not saying that I've driven a lot of cars, but this one is hands down the best that I've driven in the turns. Even in the straight line too, it's very quick. Like, it's got power. It's very torquey. It's got a wide power band from like 2,000 all the way up to 5,500. Probably even a bigger band than that. But yeah, just look at the car. Amazing looking car. Gets tons of compliments. People talk to me all the time at gas stations. Like, it was people over here that were just walking by looking at the car as I'm shooting this video. Thought I was in a remote location, but people found their way over here to the car. So with that being said, I have zero regrets about buying the car. I haven't thought about trading it in. I would buy this car all over again too. But the next time I bought it, it would be a 2SS, or maybe even a used ZL1. I haven't personally driven one of those, but I'm pretty sure I would be satisfied with that one as well. So yeah, I can't let this video go on without letting me. So this video can't go on without letting me let you all hear the exhaust. So this boiler exhaust is broken in now, and this is going to be a warm start of it. The stock exhaust was actually really good, but I wanted more volume and a deeper tone, so I went with the Boiler axle backs, the S-type axle backs. So it's not a knock against the original factory exhaust, I just wanted more. That's just personal preference. So the clutch pedal has a really good feel to it. It's not too heavy, not too light. It's the perfect feel to it. And the release is kind of towards the top. Seems like around here is where the release is, almost towards the top. So my absolute favorite thing about this car is the exhaust sound. Like once you ease off the accelerator around, it depends on how fast you're going, but at low speeds, around 2,500 RPM, you get those nice backfires. So let me let you all hear that right now. Yeah, so if you want more clips of the exhaust, check out my boiler install video, and then I did another video about the factory exhaust. Check that video out too. Look at that, I'm in snow and ice mode somehow. Take it back to sport mode. Release the parking brake. Now let's take off. See if I can get some more pops from the exhaust for you all. This car soaks up bumps pretty well too. Like for this to be a Camaro, you wouldn't think the ride would be so smooth, even in sport mode. Now track mode on the other hand is a little bit tighter, and I do drive in track mode a lot too. Actually, let me put it in track mode now. See, I pressed the button, it didn't even respond. So track mode is what gets you the most responsive throttle response. So as soon as you put your foot on the gas pedal, it almost goes instantly. Not quite, but it's pretty good, and it's much better than sport mode. So I have my settings to where the steering feel for track mode, I have everything set to be sport mode steering, because track mode is very heavy and it almost feels like a chore. People love like cut me off for some reason. And it's not like you can't see my car. My car is literally the color of a highlighter. But yeah, I have my steering set to sport mode because track mode is very, very heavy. Do a downshift myself to second gear. Thank God for traction control, because this car would get away from me. Like it even squeals the tires with traction control on. But the car, like I guess the stability control kicks in. Like if it wants to get squirrely and like the back end slide out, like that's shut down immediately. Which is good for me, because I gotta learn how to like correct the steering. Like if I were to fishtail, I just haven't had the time or the space to do that. Well, I have the time. I haven't made the time. I hate it when people say they don't have the time. You can make time for whatever you want to. I haven't made the time for it. Yeah, cruising in third gear here. That's only 3,000 RPM. Another thing that I do love about this car is the heads-up display. Like I forget to mention because the car was off when I was filming, but I can see the speed, my RPMs, actually the G-forces all in the windshield right in front of me, and what gear I'm in. So that's very convenient to have, and it's like right in front of my face. It kind of reminds me of a German car. Like people say German cars are so taut when they're steering, but this is like a powerful German car. Minus the refinement, of course, these cheap buttons. But yeah, it just goes, it hugs the road. This car has to be the best value for under $50,000 new for when it comes to speed and handling that you get. This car can take a lot of turns, at least double the speed limit. Whatever the recommended speed limit is for any turn, I can easily do double that speed limit, and the car is nowhere near close to a limit. That's just how good this suspension is tuned on this car. Alright, so that's going to conclude today's video about my 5,000 mile review on the Camaro. I love this car, that's all I gotta say. I just love this car. There's nothing to hate about this car, no deal breakers. If you're interested in buying a Camaro, I highly recommend you go get one, because like I said, I'm enjoying this every day. Snow, I drive it in the snow, drive my kids, my whole family in here, and everybody likes the car. Gets a lot of people talking to you, and yeah, no regrets whatsoever. So we reached our halfway point. We actually passed our halfway point to 1,000 subscribers. We're now at like 550 as it is. So I'd like to thank everybody that has subscribed. Thank everybody for watching the videos, being engaging with your comments on these videos. I'm really enjoying talking to you people about this car and just giving my point of view on it. So I'd like to thank everybody for that. So with that, I'm about to end this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell so you're updated anytime that I post. With that, talk to you all later. Peace out. I have my music playing and don't want to get caught up in some YouTube copyright infringement crap. So enjoy these back roads